Well, hello there again. And if this is your first time landing on my YouTube channel, welcome. I'm glad that you stopped by. Listen, be sure to hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video with somebody. Okay? So today we're talking about Bitcoin, how to purchase Bitcoin. So you're seeing Bitcoin all over the news. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. You're seeing it on billboards. Every time you turn on the computer, you go on social media, someone is talking about Bitcoin. Why? Because it's not only trending, but it's also something that is growing and it's something that is in place to add value. This video is to add value. But once you get the information from this video, can't you use it over and over? Of course. I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can use that Bitcoin over and over, okay? As opposed to your money, when you spend it, it's done, all right? And I'll just tell you straight up so that I won't forget. With the Bitcoin, the way you use it over and over, is just don't sell it. You can give it away to a family member. You could will it to a child or a family member or organization, but don't give it away, okay? Imagine if you own some of the cash, the fiat currency, paper money that we use today to buy goods and services with. Imagine if you own just 1% of the trillions of dollars that are out there circulating right now in the world. You'll be a very wealthy person. So you can do the same thing with Bitcoin. So we can forget about saving that for later. You got that out of the way. So do not sell the Bitcoin, okay? All right, so here's how you go about purchasing Bitcoin, right? Because when I first learned about Bitcoin, I didn't know how to go about buying Bitcoin. I was a dummy when it comes to stocks. And some of you don't know how to purchase stocks, or at least once upon a time you didn't know. So I want to put us all on the same game, okay? The first thing you want to do is you want to do what? You want to choose. You got to choose a reputable platform that you're going to use. There's a plethora of those out there. You have Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, Gemini, Webull. There's a lot of these different companies you could use out there, but I choose to use this one. It's called Coinbase. And I use it for a few reasons. The rates are good. They've been around for a long time, and they're very trusting. But I would say do your due diligence, do your homework before you decide to jump into anything. You know, don't just listen to what we're saying. Do your own thing. Coinbase is just one I happen to use. You can use Robinhood. I understand that professionals don't use Robinhood, but I'm getting mixed signals about that because some people who are doing very good in the market are using Robinhood. So do that. You're gonna also need a coin. You're gonna also need a wallet to put your coins in, or your stocks or whatever. We're talking about Bitcoin. So what you have here is what I use is Coin Wallet. So here in Bitcoin and Coinbase, I can buy my Bitcoin, and then I want to transfer it over into the Coin Wallet. I'm gonna get to eventually in this video. I'll tell you later how to keep your money safe, and so you can even go another step further to secure your money. You want to understand the market. If you're walking into the market and you don't know anything about it, you don't have to understand it to buy Bitcoin. But, you know, it's recommended that you understand the market. How does the market work? What percentage you're getting? Who's buying? When not to buy? The news. And I know my sister is gonna go grab my coattail, pull my coattail for this one. And I'm look, when it comes to this news stuff, I'm not gonna be in front of the television all. In the morning when I get up, I watch the news. That's gonna tell me what happened during, over the past 16 hours from supper time to the time I slept and now waking up, right? And I'll check it again later in the day, sometime in the afternoon, and maybe a few hours before bedtime. So 3 or 4 times a day is good, but I'm talking about, because you do want to be aware of current events and things that are affecting you. In fact, with the fires that happened in California and that are still going on right now, today is January 22nd of 2025, and the fires are still going on in some places. I think in Eaton, I think Eaton is about 80%, I think, contained so far, and that's kind of the only one that I remember. So a lot of progress is being made there. Again, hats off to the heroes and sheroes that have shown up, and that is whether you're being paid to fight the fire, or whether you are paying to help the victims that were impacted by the fire. Thankfully, my family were not, and we had 0 losses, and there were some families that did lose everything. People that I know personally lost everything. The whole blocks out in the Palisades area, out in the Eatonton area, and Pasadena area, and Altadena. I know people out there, and they were affected. I know people that were affected in the Woodland Hills area. So it's just people and some other areas that were affected, but I'm just thankful that we were spared and didn't lose anything other than some sleep. So, again, understanding the market, make sure that you know something about the market. You know, information is in the books, and if you don't like the books, you don't have to read books. You can Google stuff. You can go on ChatGPT, you know, and you can learn about the stocks there. A lot of these companies, a lot of these programs that's on TV, Let's Talk Money, Squawk Box, and all of those different ones is out there talking, Dave Ramsey and all those people are being paid, and they're carrying a narrative. You have to understand, if you own a television show or you own a television network, you would have a narrative. I own this channel, this YouTube channel. So what do? I have an agenda. My agenda is to teach you about finances, to teach you about life insurance, and how to put your money in a place that it can grow, how to avoid paying taxes or defer paying taxes, and in many cases, how you can not only minimize, but cut out taxes down to 0. So that is my agenda. Whatever it is, you have an agenda. On your job, you have an agenda. Whatever it is your job title is, you have an agenda there. And that's what you carry out. And as well as people on television, tell lie vision. So they telling lies, and you are visually watching them tell lies. That's what the TV is, the idiot box, to tell you a bunch of lies. So do everything that I tell you, I'm going to tell you, you can fact check it. I'm going to tell you to go back and Google it, do your due diligence, research the information before you make any vast, knee-jerk, irrational, or what you call rational decisions. Make informed, educated, calculated decisions. Now, that you understand the market, the next thing you want to do is you want to do what? Start small. So you don't want to get out there and just take 4 or 5 hands full of money and put a little bit of money in the market. Maybe you don't have extra money to do it, right? But if you don't have extra money now, when will you ever have extra money? If all you do is work, pay bills, work, pay bills, work, pay bills, then what are you doing here? The first thing you should be doing is when you work, when you get paid, pay yourself first and then pay everybody else. Why in the ham sandwiches are you working and you're paying everyone else and you're not getting paid? Well, I'm just going to leave that alone. You might say, well, I'm behind. I get it. You're always going to be behind. The only way you're going to get in the front is that it has to come to a point, a place and time in your life that you have to put yourself first. I know you went to church and I know what the pastor told you, but the pastor's riding around in a Learjet. The pastor's riding around in a helicopter. The pastor drives a Bentley. In fact, the pastor don't even drive the Bentley. He has someone to drive his Bentley. The pastor has a Rolls Royce. You understand what I'm saying? When the pastor comes in, the pastor don't have to find a parking space. The pastor, if he put money on the table, what they call in the collection plate, guess who ends up getting the money right back? So it's just a no-brainer. When are you going to put yourself first? And putting the pastor first is not necessarily going to put you into heaven, And the fact that a lot of y'all going to go to hell anyway by way of the church. Because, of course, according to the word of God, is that when you don't know something, you can't be held accountable. But you go into church, you know. So when you know better, what should you do? You should do better. But what happens? You go to church, you're trying to fool everyone else, and you're doing the same thing over and over, going to hell by way of the church. So I'm going to leave that little part alone right there, okay? Because I know some of y'all got your gloves on, and I ain't scared to fight you back with words or with my hands, because I know what I'm talking about. I'm good at what I'm talking about, and I'm good with these hands too. And I'm not going to let people make a fool of me and run over top of me. Don't you do that either. Have some sense. Coinbase, coin wallet. You take your money out, you buy your coins and your Bitcoin in Coinbase, and then you transfer it out of here into coin wallet, because that's what you can control. You're starting small. Don't buy up the world, buy a little bit at a time. Buy what you can afford, okay? If the light bills is due, then of course you don't want to be in the dark and haven't paid the utility power bill. If the water bill is due, you want to be able to bathe and cook. Pay your water bill. If you have a little something left over, take a little something and put it over into Bitcoin or put it into the stock market. We're talking about Bitcoin right now. All right, not just the stock market, but Bitcoin in particular. You can fill that in with Amazon stock. You can fill that in with marijuana stock. You can fill that in with mushroom stock, which is another good one. Psychedelic mushrooms are being used in microdose for individuals that are psychotropic or psychological mental health issues. So think about that. So make sure that you're researching and not just buying what everyone is buying on the stock market or what they're talking about. Observe the mass and do the opposite. That's what's happening with Bitcoin. That's why the numbers keep going up and down. It's to throw you off, because that way what's going to happen is overnight it's going to shoot up. You see how it was just the other last week was 96,000, then it was 97 by the end of the day, then 2 days later it dropped all the way down to 94, and I think it even hit 93, then back up at 97,000. Then this weekend it hit 108,000. Yesterday it was at 107. I think today is at 104, right? 104,000, somewhere between there. So it's been fluctuating. So roughly between 104,000 to $107,000 per coin. $100,000 a coin. So I think today is at, let's just say $104,000, right? $104,000 per coin. Okay? And even if my math is off, don't get caught up whether the math is math. That's not what's important here. It's at $104,000 right now. This thing, my projection by the end of 2025 is $250,000 by the end of this year. By the end of next year, it's going to quadruple. It's not going to double. It's going to more than double this year. Next year it's going to quadruple, or it's going to at least triple, and then the following year is going to quadruple. Nobody knows what the market is going to do. So don't get excited about these numbers, and don't throw darts at me either, because I'm mispronouncing these numbers, because you don't know what these numbers are going to be. No one knows what these numbers are going to be. But imagine if you bought a coin right now at $104,000, you own one, and in a year's time, then that is almost double. You see what I'm saying? You done 2x your money right there. Just like that. It's just that simple. So you want to choose a reputable company or platform. You want to set up your wallet to transfer your money into. You want to make sure that you understand how the market works. And then you want to start small. So use dollar cost average to buy Bitcoin. So in other words, look at what it's going to cost you to buy the Bitcoin. What is the cost? What is the value output? look at that, and then look at the dollar cost from the big picture. Okay, what is it actually doing in the market? How is it performing in the market? Next thing you want to do, now that you've set up your apps here and you got your wallet and your Coinbase set up, so you're ready to buy Bitcoin, but except you don't have any money in there yet. So now you need to set up your payment method. You need to verify your bank information, whether you're using a debit card, or whether you're using your bank routing number, or whether you're using something like, I don't know, Venmo. If you're using Venmo or Cash App or whatever, whatever platform that you're using, as long as that is acceptable. I don't know if Venmo and Cash App are acceptable or not, but the only way to find out if that is your preferred way of putting the money is to try it and then go from there, or do your research. I use my bank account. It's safer that way. If anything happens, I can contest it and more likely get my money back. I don't know if you can use a credit card or not, but if you can use a credit card, that is the safest way because you always get your money back. So now after you've chosen a wallet, you got your platform set up, you've studied, you understand the market, and you decided that you're ready to start small with your money, you verified your payment. Now you're ready to go, except one thing. Sometimes we're presented with offers that are too good to be true. And if they are too good to be true, if it seems like it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So just be mindful of that. A lot of scammers out here. You got people on social media, and it happens to me all the time. They'll send me something, they'll send me a request. I have zero posts, right? This is how you know they're fake. Because people who are on Facebook, for example, and Instagram, we think we look good. You think you look good. That's why they call it Facebook. It's a book of faces. And then you got people got a hand on there, a dog on there. Some people feel that they're unattractive and they'd rather put an animal on there. But if you feel that you are unattractive, should you be on a place or a platform that's set up to show your face and how you look? It's probably not the platform for you. That may be something else that you may decide to do. But don't go on a platform if you feel that you're unattractive, or you feel that you're ugly, or you don't like the way you look. And first of all, whoever you are, whether you feel that you're attractive or not, you are still beautiful in God's eye. And you are made, when God made you, he broke the mold. There's only one of you. Whether you got one ear bigger than the other one, whether you missing an eye, you have a cut, you're still beautiful. You're still made in God's image. And don't let what mankind says to be beautiful dictate you and how you see the beauty in yourself. You ever seen a person, excuse me, have you ever seen a person that is beautiful on the outside, and then they open their mouth and you hear that stuff that come out their mouth, and all of a sudden it transcends from beautiful to the ugliest person that you've ever seen? And on the same token, have you ever seen a person that was not necessarily that what we call beautiful based on mankind's eye and what we measure as beautiful, like a model, right? Or some handsome guy that's a bodybuilder, right? Guys, we often look at other guys and we determine how we look. If we feel like, okay, most of the guys that people say look good, I fit in that category, so I feel like I look good. See? But, and females by the same token, not eating, anorexic, dying to try to fit in and be accepted for your beauty when you already have it. And the reason why you can't find it is because you already got it and you're out there looking for it and it's already in here. Hello, somebody. I'm not going to get stuck there. The next thing you want to do is that you want to understand taxes. So if you decide that you buy Bitcoin and then in the middle of that year you need that money for something and you sell it, Now you got to file it on your income taxes as income. See, there's gains. You gain some income. And so you have to pay the government. I don't want to say Uncle Sam, but you have to pay the IRS because you chose to take that money out. So you have to pay taxes on distributions, okay? So now, with that being said, you're going to do what? You're going to choose a reputable platform. You're going to get a wallet set up to transfer money, right? Just like this. Some people have a wallet. I just have some cash in my pocket for the sake of this video demonstration. So this would be my wallet. I pull my wallet out, right? So here, in this case, you take your money, you buy it, put it in the Coinbase, right? And then you buy up, let's say you buy what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got $100 here in my hand, right? 5 $20 bills. So you take that money, you put it in the Coinbase. Now I own $100 worth of Bitcoin. But now I don't want to leave it in here. I'm going to put it over into my Coinbase. Once I accumulate so much, whatever you feel like. But remember, there is a fee to transfer your money. So don't be just transferring $5 and $10. You know, try to get a little piece of change before you transfer it because you're going to have to pay to move that money. So it's in the Coinbase, and you buy your Coinbase here. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to move it from here and put it over to here. Send it over to your Coin wallet. Because now when I go to the store, I can go in my wallet, so to speak, and I can take out some money and I can buy me a pack of chewing gum. Or I can buy me a cold beer. Or I can go to the restaurant and I can buy me a meal, okay? Or if I'm on the golf course, I can go out on the range and hit some balls. So let's kind of just go over that again. Oh, one more thing. Your risk factor, your risk tolerance. I almost forgot that. Your risk tolerance. Some people are more aggressive than others. Don't be putting money in a place to grow and then have to keep on coming and use that money like it's an ATM. When you put the money there, leave it. Set it and forget it and let that money continue to grow. Whether that's in stocks, whether that is in Bitcoin, whether that's in an IUL, life insurance, or whether it's in an annuity, whether that's in a 401k, 457b, thrifty, Roth IRA, whatever. Whatever you put your money into, leave it there and let that money grow. Okay? Because if you keep going and get it, that's why you don't have no money in the account. Because life happens. And you keep running to the bank and you save up $1,000 and then something happens and you got to go get $800. Now you only got $200 in savings. It's called adulting. And we all go through it. It's just the numbers change. So I want to recap real quick, then I'll let you go. So you want to choose a reputable exchange, right? Not Coinbase or like Kraken or Binance or Webull or whatever to work with, to put your money into. The next thing you want to do is you want to set up a wallet to transfer your money. Then understand the market. You're going to learn as you go. You'll never learn it. And if you're trying to figure out Bitcoin before you get involved in it, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Notice that you don't have to know Bitcoin in order to grow. Just like you don't have to be trying to get a speeding ticket to get one. So you're riding down the street and you're speeding and you don't realize you're speeding. The police clocks you with that radar gun. He's going to pull you over and give you a ticket. And you won a ticket and you weren't even trying. Look at your luck. Try it on a more positive scale. So you're going to choose a reputable exchange. You're going to get a wallet, understand the market, start small. Verify your payment method. Then beware of scams. Understand how taxes work. Learn about taxes, the implications that come with it. Make informed decisions so that you can calculate your risk. Think about how aggressive you are, whether your risk factor is going to be aggressive or passive. At the end of the day, whatever your tolerance is based on is how much money you have right now. And then number two, how long can you afford to go without that money and still maintain a lifestyle similar to the one that you have already. Listen, that's my time. I thank you for yours. Be sure to subscribe to learn more about Bitcoin and other positive things and how you can grow and create your legacy today. Meanwhile, take care of yourself and each other.